In this video, we'll learn to round numbers up to 100 to the nearest 10. When we go shopping and we've just spent £59, for example, and what we think in our head is that we've just spent £60, and then later on we might go and spend £31. So we normally think, oh, I've spent 60 and another 30, that gives me 90 in total. So we're not using the actual amount, we estimating, or we're rounding this number and adding it together. We're adding these rounded numbers together. So how does that exactly work? If you spend £59 to the nearest 10, that is 60. So 59 is actually 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Yeah, so that is actually between £50 and £60. Why? Because I spent more than 50, but it's not 60 yet. So 59 stands between 50 and 60. Where exactly is it? So if you go through this, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, so that's halfway through, 56, 57, 58, 59. So 59 is right here. So that is, as you can see, very close to £60. And that's why we say we've just spent £60 rather than 50. So 59 to the nearest 10 is 60. What about 58? Then again, 58 is here. So that is close to 60. So we can say to the nearest 10, that is 60. 57. Then again, that's again closer to 60 than it is to 50. So that's again to the nearest 10, that is 60. 56 to the nearest 10, again, it is closer to 60 because there is 1, 2, 3, 4 places, whereas there are 6 to 50. So 56 again goes to 60. How about 55? 55 as well, although it's halfway through, we round it to 60. So 55 to the nearest 10 is 60. 54, that is rounded to 50. 53 as well is rounded to 50. 52 and 51 is rounded to 50. So if it's 55 and more, it's rounded to 60. If it's 54 and less, it's rounded to 50. So if the number ends in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, then we round down. So we round 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, round down, which means in this case rounding to 50. If the number ends in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we round up. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, rounding down, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, rounded up. So let's have a look at a few more examples. If I had 8 to the nearest 10, 8 is between 0 and 10, 0 and 10 like this, 0, 10. So 8 is about here. So to the nearest 10, that would be 10. If I have 2, for instance, which is here, about, to the nearest 10, that would be 0. So it stands between 0 and 10. It's not closer to 10, but it's closer to 0. So that would be 0. What about 12? 12 stands between 10 and 20. So it's closer to 10. And also checking the rule, it's one of these. So we're rounding down. That means we're going to 10. Let's say 35. Round it to the nearest 10. That stands between 30 and 40. And as we said, since it's 5 or above the last digit or the unit, in this case, that means we're rounding it to 40. Then let's have a look at 89. Then 9 is one of these numbers. That means you're going to round up. So, and also thinking of the position, 89 stands between 80 and 90, and it's definitely closer to 90 than to 80. So we round it to 90. So to recap, we round down if the units are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we round up if the units are 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. And my final question is, if we've got 60 rounded to the nearest 10, now 60 stands between 60 and 70. So to the nearest 10, that is 60 itself. So the answer would be 60. So this is how you round numbers up to 100 to the nearest 10. We'll now look at a couple of examples of rounding numbers to the nearest 10 and how to check your answers using rounding. So we've got Hannah spent £18 on a bag and £43 on a pair of shoes. How much did she spend in total? So the key word there is total. And we know when we're looking for the total, we adding things together. So Hannah spent £18 on a bag and £43 on a pair of shoes. So how much is that in total? So we've got 18 add 43. So adding the units first, 8 and 3 makes 11. So I'll put 1 down and the 1 carried over. Now we've got 4 and 1 in the tens, which makes 5, and another 1 that makes 6. So she spent £61 in total. Now I've got to check the answer using a rounding. £18 to the nearest 10, that would be 20. £43 to the nearest 10, that would be 40, because it's closer to 40 than it is to 50. So I'll add to it 40. So both together, 20 and 40 makes 60. So is that close to the 61? that is very close to 61. So that proves that I've got that calculation right. So it's a way to check that my calculation is right. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but it should be very similar. Now let's have a look at this one. Lisa had £50 in her pocket. So this is what she had initially. She gave her son £21. How much does she have now? So she had 50, gave away 20. How much does she have now? That we work out by writing 50, take away the 21 and finding what is left. So we need to take away 1 from the 0, but we can't do that. So we've got to borrow a 10 from the 5. So that is borrowing 1 to make this a 10. So the 5 becomes a 4. 10 take away 1 gives me 9. 4 take away 2 leaves me with 2. So she's got now £29. And I've got to check my answer using a rounding. So 50 is already rounded. I don't need to do anything about it. So 50. And the 21, that's about 20. So taking away 20 from the 50 leaves me with 30. That was 29. And my rounded answer is 30. So that is very, very close. That suggests that I did my calculation right. So this is how to check answers using rounding.